thank you and welcome to our board meeting this evening. We are happy that you're here with us to celebrate your kids. And we want to start with roll call, please. Here.
Here. Here. Here.
Then if you can all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yo prometo fidelidad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a la república que representa una nación bajo Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos.
Okay, we have an agenda to approve for the evening. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. The approval of the minutes from the March board meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded, and I'll be abstaining since I wasn't at the last meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
So 3-0 and 1. Okay. Dr. Sprout, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Berrigan and governing board members. It's National Assistant Principals Week, and we're giving a huge shout out to our amazing assistant principals. The assistant principal position is one of the most challenging jobs in education, with a wide spectrum of responsibilities that support our principals, our staff, students, and community. We had an assistant principal meeting this week along with our executive team, and I cannot understate the excellence, wisdom, strength, problem solving, and relationship building, and that just names a few of the skills that we have on this team. Not only are they incredible on their campuses, but they also provide outstanding support to one another. They are the best of the best in the state of Arizona, and I'd like to call each one up to be recognized, and we will start with Trailside Point Performing Arts Academy Assistant Principal Rachel Boyle. Levine Elementary School Assistant Principal Reed Brotherton. Estrella Foothills Global Academy Assistant Principal Asia Glover. Cheatham Elementary School Principal Ashley Grant. She's not able to be here, but let's give her a round of applause. Paseo Point Dual Language Academy Assistant Principal Patty Gonzalez Sotelo. And future principal. So congratulations again to Patty. Rogers Ranch STEM Academy Assistant Principal Jessica Neal. MC Cash Assistant Principal Rayanne Morgan. Desert Meadows School Assistant Principal Natasha Peretz. That's it, right? Oh, wait.
One more.
Of course, our outstanding principal, our assistant principal over at Vista del Sur Accelerated Academy, Bill Stewart. He's not here tonight. He was not able to be here tonight, but Again, audience, fellow administrators and staff, these are the best of the best. They are simply outstanding. Let's give them one more round of applause. Robert Jacobson, Executive Director of Support Services, is one of 4 recipients of this year's Arizona Association of School Business Officials Best Practices Award. Mr. Jacobson was recognized for coordinating bi-monthly meetings in which representatives from all of the school districts' business and operations departments meet together with each school principal to discuss the needs on their campus. This one-stop shop meeting addresses a broad range of school needs in 1 hour and facilitates collaboration between district departments to best support Levine schools. Congratulations, Mr. Jacobson. Yes, you've got to make the walk up, Mr. Jacobson. Eighth grade student Jalen Buller received the I Can Do It Award for his impressive growth at Estrella Foothills Global Academy and his proactive involvement in the community. Jalen was nominated by Estrella Foothills Global Academy resource teacher Jasmine Rodriguez, who highlighted his remarkable drive for real-world learning. One of the most inspiring examples of his growth is his initiative to collaborate with his school counselor on a community project. Recently, he organized a visit to a Phoenix fire station where he had the opportunity to interview firefighters, meet a fire captain, and tour the facility. This experience gave him valuable insights into public service and community engagement. It showcased his motivation, courage, and eagerness to step outside his comfort zone to learn and make meaningful connections. And by the way, if he doesn't make it in the fire department business, a few years ago, he dressed up as the superintendent, and so we might also be looking at the future superintendent of the Levine Elementary School District as well. Before we call Jalen up, we have a great video here to show you.
Hi, my name is Jalen Buller. I go to Estrella Foothills Global Academy, and I'm in 8th grade.
Jalem has shown a great commitment to his education. Jalem is an IT tech in training with the computer technician on campus.
I tear apart computers, like whenever there's a problem, I'm always there to fix it.
And he also helps the secretaries in the front office every day during his lunch and recess.
I just do mail, deliver mail to different mailboxes.
Recently, Jalem collaborated with his school counselor to organize a visit to a Phoenix fire station for his community project. This experience allowed him to interview firefighters, meet a fire captain, and tour the facility.
I wanted to go into the academy and being a firefighter.
His motivation, courage, and overall ability to reach out and establish connections demonstrate his desire to learn.
What subjects do you like in school?
Math and science. I like science because it teaches me like when I'm a firefighter, I'm a part of like a hazmat team. Like there's certain explosives, gases, math like calculating how much water can a truck hold.
Jalem embodies the qualities of a dedicated student and a community-minded individual.
I treat people with respect, and like I can be respectful.
It is with great pleasure that the Arizona Council for Exceptional Children presents the I Can Do It Award to Jalem Buller.
I would like to thank everyone, especially my school resource teacher and my counselor, that I got this reward, because I feel really proud of myself having this reward. And also, I want to thank other like firefighters, because I really make their day. Besides that, I also want to thank my parents as well.
Congratulations, Jalem.
Well, I think we can just wrap things up now. Jalem, please come forward along with, you mentioned school counselor Casey Osterday and your teacher, Ms. Jasmine Rodriguez. If all of you would please come forward. The Paseo Point Dual Language Academy Bullseye Archery Team. Okay, here we go. The Paseo Point Dual Language Academy Bullseye Archery Team, which is one of our after-school clubs, are state champions and will head to nationals in Salt Lake City, Utah on April 25th. In addition to the top honor, the team earned second place in 3D and secured their spot at nationals. The middle school team claimed second place in Bullseye, marking the first time a Paseo Point team has finished in the top three. Though they didn't qualify for nationals in that category, they took fourth place in 3D and qualified for nationals. We have multiple students here tonight. Student archers, but let's start by saying a huge congratulations and thank you to their coach, Mr. Jeremy Roberts. Please come forward. And if you are on the team, would you please come forward and join us, and we will recognize you. Mr. Roberts is going to just list out everyone's names for us, so we'll get them lined up while he's doing that. I understood that. Welcome to the superintendent.
Oh, what comfortable chair. We have we have Alejandro, Asher, Juliana, Samuel, Camila, Natalie, Landry, Zane, Eduardo, Jeremy, and Joseph.
And parents, if you'd like to come up and get a picture, feel free to do so. You can come right up here. We'll stay as long as you need.
Jeremy's in the back. Jeremy, get in the front. There we go. Everyone in the window. Yes. Yes, perfect. All right, here we go. Everybody, anybody over? And in 3, 2, 1. One more. In 3, 2, 1. And last one for me. In 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Wait, go move. You know, if there's a class behind me, I didn't do my job.
Scoring update for our archery team here. They received first place in elementary bullseye and in middle school bullseye, and they received second place in 3D in elementary and middle school, and all 48 students have qualified to go to nationals. So.
And it's really an amazing amount of time that Coach puts into this, so thank you for doing that.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. All 9 Levine schools partnered with the Phoenix Suns and the Mercury Foundation for the Valley Readers Challenge, a fun and engaging way to reach new reading goals. To get started, on March 5th, MC Cash hosted a rally encouraging first graders to read and track their minutes. Suns legend Alvin Adams read the book We Are the Valley to first grade students in Spanish and English. And then moving forward, we would like to recognize, we have hundreds of teachers that participated, our top 3 teachers whose classes logged in the most reading minutes. And so would these teachers please come forward? Cynthia Williams from Estrella Foothills Global Academy. Maya Glick, also from Trailside Point Performing Arts Academy. And also from Trailside Point Performing Arts Academy, Morgan Ty. And please stay up here. Congratulations to Trailside Point Performing Arts Academy for winning the Readers' Challenge. So let's give them a round of applause. We'd like to say a special thank you to Principal Francine Tate, if you would please come forward. Assistant Principal Rachel Boyle. And we have someone in our district who is always behind the scenes on projects for us. He does all the technology for the Superintendent's Math All-Star Club, and he also was a person behind the technology on this program, which required logging of minutes, and that is Mr. J.D. Williams, our district technology.
Okay, ready? And 3, 2, 1. Now we're doing in, and 3, 2, 1. And 1, and 3, 2, 1. Perfect.
Sticking with the theme of reading, during Reading Across America Week, we had many community partners helping us to celebrate reading. Global Credit Union employees visited Cheatham Elementary during Read Across America Week. They read their favorite stories to students in grades kindergarten through 3rd. Global Credit Union is an active community supporter of the Levine School District and has participated in many events. On April 1st, the Education Finance Reform Group hosted Parents' Day at the Capitol. Parents from our Superintendent's Parent Advisory Group and Governing Board member Jennifer Getsky gathered to meet with lawmakers, share their personal stories, and collaborating on shaping the future of education. A special thank you to our state representative, Oscar de los Santos, for meeting with the parent representatives and introducing the Levine School District in the House Gallery as the best school district in the state of Arizona. So he was correct.
He is correct.
Congratulations to the winter season intramural champions. Look at this picture, you might recognize someone. A huge shout out to the winning teams, Vista del Sur Accelerated Academy, coached by Governing Board member Mikkel Bell. Congratulations, Mikkel. They claimed the volleyball championship, and Paseo Point Dual Language Academy for winning the soccer championship. Great job to all of our student athletes and coaches, and we are in the midst of spring sports right now. So, 120 students from Rogers Ranch STEM Academy in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade attended the Open Door field trip at the U of A campus in downtown Phoenix. This annual event, organized by the Orthopedic Research Society, aims to engage students in exploring STEM fields. During the trip, students participated in a discussion panel where medical professionals shared insights about their education and current contribution to orthopedic work. Later, they took part in hands-on activities, including repairing and testing broken bones, using an X-ray machine, exploring the spine, and learning about sports medicine and biomechanics. 4th grade students at Levine Elementary School participated in a hands-on sushi making demonstration and nutrition lesson organized by our child nutrition department. ASU nutrition interns created a fun rainbow sushi recipe using colorful fruits and vegetables. During the event, the interns taught a nutrition lesson, shared the history of sushi, and showed students how sushi is made. Students practiced their kitchen skills by cutting bell peppers, and they got to taste the sushi that they helped prepare. Speaking of food, 1st grade students at Cheatham Elementary were featured on 12 News and Fox 10, highlighting their school's sustainability efforts. In partnership with greendesert.org and their cafeteria staff, students were able to harvest, prepare, and enjoy vegetables from their school garden. They tasted broccoli, cauliflower, chard, and kale. Our students planted these seeds back in October and have watched them grow over the past few months. On April 2nd, we held this year's second district-wide Levine's Exploration of Academic Pathways, or LEAP event at Levine Elementary School. 19 local schools, 5 colleges, and 4 specialty programs were in attendance, recruiting our students, as well as our district's Jobs of the Future table. Over 100 families attended this event, and we look forward to repeating our LEAP program next fall and in the spring as well. And now, moving on to our Employees of the Month. We will start with our Certified Employee of the Month, Catherine Garris from Vista Del Sur Accelerated Academy. Her position is that of Gifted Instructional Coach. The title of Gifted Instructional Coach doesn't fully capture what Ms. Garris contributes to Vista Del Sur Accelerated Academy. In addition to teaching gifted students, she collaborates with teachers to support differentiated instruction. She also coordinates the MESA, which is Mathematics, Engineering, Science Achievement Program for Vista. She recruits students to be a part of her programs and sponsors and organizes events. She's a teacher leader. She helps us with recruiting teachers for Vista. And she has also provided outstanding gifted parent nights to parents throughout the community. So Catherine, thank you for your dedication and for playing a key role in our students' success.
So Miss Garris is one of a kind. She wears so many hats and takes on so many roles. When we say gifted instructional coach, she really does it all. She actually services 249 kids on our campus. So a lot of teachers do 30. Miss Garris, she does 249. She also supports all of our teachers, and just like Dr. Sprout mentioned, she leads gifted parent nights. She just led one last night and got the most amazing compliment that I want to share with you tonight. So a lot of people have some misnomers about gifted kids and think it's easy as pie, but there's some different asynchronous development. So she was leading a night on motivation for gifted students, and a parent who was very similar to their child told her that she just healed something within her soul by leading that class that night. So not only does she touch our students, our staff, but she's touching our parents as well. So we just appreciate her so much. Thank you, Ms. Garris.
Our classified employee of the month is AJ Baestewa from our supervisory associate at Estrella Foothills Global Academy. If you've ever had a chance to observe recess at Estrella Foothills Global Academy, one of the first things you notice is how smooth and orderly it is. And that's thanks to the incredible AJ. As a dedicated supervisory associate, AJ goes above and beyond every single day. She builds strong, caring connections with students during both recess and lunch, treating each one with kindness, respect, and the care of someone who truly sees them. She listens, supports, and holds students accountable in a way that earns their trust and brings out their best. AJ is always thinking ahead, asking thoughtful, solution-driven questions, and looking for ways to improve routines and experiences for everyone. Congratulations, AJ Baestewa.
are so thankful to have her at Estrella Foothills. Not only does she provide order and structure at recess and lunch, which we all know is very important, but she does it with such warmth and kindness to all of our students. It's sometimes easy to overlook moments that happen outside of the classroom, but our classified staff at Estrella Foothills plays such a pivotal role in the growth and the happiness of our students. And Miss AJ just impacts so many of our kids, and we are just so grateful for her. And our school would not be running as smoothly without her. So, once again, thank you, AJ.
And now we will move to our classroom spotlight, which tonight will feature Paseo Point Dual Language Academy. And with that, I will turn it over to Principal John Roloff.
All right, President Berrigan, members of the board, Superintendent Sprout, esteemed guests. I want to thank you guys for this opportunity to present some of the amazing things we do here at Paseo Point. And overall, I just want to thank you guys for all the support you've given over the years, that we can have amazing programs like the archery program. And, we're only one of two in the city of Phoenix that has one, and allow Coach Roberts and support that you've given our school to thrive. As our school's getting sued through, through the state and different entities, you guys have stood by us and beside us and alongside us and behind us and given us all the support that we need, that our students and teachers need to be an A+ school and to be an amazing school. And like Dr. Sprout always says, the best dual language school in the state. So I want to thank you guys for that. So what we're going to talk about tonight is, I don't know if you guys heard or not, but we adopted a new math curriculum. And at Paseo Point, we do things a little bit differently. So we teach in both Spanish and English. And I want to thank our second grade team to take on to demonstrate what a math lesson looks like in Spanish on our campus and some activities, what they look like in Spanish. And I want to thank them because right now I know our 3rd through 8th graders are working hard on the ASA test, right, Ms. Abeg? There. And so the second grade team. And I also wanted to take a second and thank you guys for support through even back to the time of COVID, because we made some conscious decisions that were kind of risky to put some amazing teachers in the areas with the kids that were most affected, our younger kids. And so because of that, we have an amazing primary team at Paseo Point. And so with that being said, I'd like to introduce 2 of them to come up. I would like to invite Ms. Gutierrez and Ms. Pedroza to come on up and lead this presentation.
Okay. Good evening, President Berrigan, members of the board, Dr. Sprout. So today we're going to show you what the end of a math lesson looks like in our Spanish classrooms. And to help us do that, we brought some of our Rams. So we have Javier Gonzalez, Gabriela Gonzalez, Jimena Tondo Rivas, Fernando Ortega, Irvin Brooks, and Annalie Ramos.
So when we think of teaching Spanish at Paseo Point, a lot of people think, well, they're translating the lessons, and that is far from the truth. We do not do translating. We do complementing through bridging. So what bridging is, it helps support our students because we need to understand that not all of our students are native Spanish speakers, but they see the joys and they see the wonder that being bilingual can bring. So what bridging is, it's complementing the 2 languages. It relates the words. It also helps to identify cognates for the students, so that way they can grasp the concept better, which we have some examples here, like difference, diferencia, and they're finding these on their own to help build their language skills.
Bridging helps us to make connections between the content because, again, as we work with partners where one does the Spanish, one does the English, the students at Paseo are not seeing the same lesson twice throughout the day. It is an extension of content and standards, and that is why we do the bridging. We do not do the translating. So again, by bridging, they're able to compare language usage in addition to share and extend standards throughout the day. So we want to get the most out of our day with our partners. Okay.
So we are so incredibly lucky to have iExcel at our campus. It is a paid program, but it correlates directly to Eureka. So we pull specific skills based on lessons that we're working on, and we create these math choice boards like you see here on the screen. And so after they're done with their exit ticket or the end of the lesson practice, we give them the opportunity, all right, go to your math choice board and you click on this skill that directly correlates to the lesson that we just taught. So that's just an additional support like for our early finishers, but also for those kids who may be struggling with that concept to kind of get a little bit more practice.
So another essential support are anchor charts in the classroom, and we did bring those samples here today as they are projected on the screen. So with the anchor charts, we're building again that vocabulary, providing those visuals as essential components so that the students feel successful in what they're doing in the classroom. And to help us demonstrate that, we have some wonderful RAMs that'll be demonstrating to you how they can see a Spanish word problem, pick out those cognates, those pieces, again, that we work, and they're able to explain and express. And again, not all of our students are native Spanish speakers, but they're building that language with us. Okay, ¿listos?
Sí. Okay. Agarren sus papeles y los lápices también.
Okay, my turn.
I
Okay,
can only
do I have to do this
half
too? I don't know, these were hundreds, right? Maybe
Okay.
tens? Which one's this? Hundreds? And then ones?
When
Is that how you do
I
it?
was taught.
Okay. 78 ranas, that's frogs. En el arroyo. algunas van a ser un saltando.
Regroup.
Ahora hay 20 nuevas ranas en el árbol. ¿Cuántas ranas se pueden saltar? Okay. So basically, 78 minus 39, right? So we do
¿Cómo se llama?
7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Y 8, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Yeah, we have to take away 9 from here. So there's no 9 here, so we have to take 1 from here, huh? And then do I add 1?
Not here?
I put 10 here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, okay. 1, 2, 3, 9. Okay. Ya tenemos 9 aquí. Y, oh, y también tenemos que quitar 6. Oh, yeah, 6. 3? Oh, yeah, 3 is here. 1, 2, 3.
Like that?
Okay, so 7
Forma.
minus 39 is 29.
You want to do the same?
Muy bien, maestra. Eres una maestra.
All right.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Good job, you're so smart. Yes,
I love all
Yeah, we want to. That's our way.
like that one.
Sigue adelante, aprendiendo y haciendo las matemáticas. You're very smart. Good job.
So cool.
Great job. I like it. You guys like kids together.
My turn? Is that what you're saying? Okay, but I can explain it to you in Spanish. But I can't explain it to you. What's okay? You get it like everyone in a dog?
A frog.
So there's 17 frogs. Oh, a streamer or okay. And I don't know what that word is.
We hope that the students have demonstrated, again, in the classroom, we are not translating. This is an example of what the students see and read on a daily basis during our math instruction. We do not translate, but rather bridge, so we hope that you heard some sentence starters, some sentence frames that they were using, so through that consistency, our students are able to grasp the concepts without the language piece being a barrier. And while we just had one friend joining you, we can see that all the students did, they had a variety of strategies, further demonstrating that what we're doing does work as the students are grasping different concepts that they are the most comfortable and feel the most success with. So again, we thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
So, parents, we're going to take a break in just a moment, let you get on with your evening. But before we do that, first,
I'm super clumsy. Trying to get everybody's attention.
all right. Thank you, President Berrigan. Took a year off
I
of
have
my
never
life
done
there,
that. In
but-
13 years on the board,
okay.
I've never done that.
So parents, first of all, before we thank you, let's start by thanking our teachers. We have 5 teachers at this grade level. Paseo Point is very popular in our community, and so let's thank our teachers, Ms. Pedroza, Ms. Winters, Ms. Guerrero, Ms. Gutierrez, Ms. Bermudez, and Ms. Coach Gonzalez as well. So let's give them a round of applause. If you weren't up here, and I know a lot of you weren't able to be, but what we saw was second graders doing absolutely amazing work, a reflection of the dedication of their teachers throughout this school year as we've implemented a new math curriculum throughout the district. It's amazing to see what our students are doing. Parents, you are key to this success as well, and we thank you so much for making Paseo Point your place to bring your children and to entrust us with them. And so let's give our parents a big round of applause as well. Now, before I turn it back to President Berrigan, just a few updates on upcoming events. We are in state testing mode, and I want to thank all of our staff and students, families. We wrapped up reading today. We have 2 days of math state testing coming up next week, and so we are in testing mode. Also, tomorrow night, we have our annual district softball tournament, and Ms. Getsky and Ms. Abig are going to be umping. So they don't know that yet, but they will be umpiring.
You're going too.
So any problems anyone has, take it up with the board. Our parent advisory group, third meeting of the year, will be on Monday the 21st. We have our annual art walk here at the Levine Education Center on April 24th. Another big celebration coming up is our Levine Legends on April 30th, and then our Science and Engineering Fair on May 7th. So a lot of things coming up as we head into the final days of our school year. And with that, we'll turn it over to President Barrett.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sprout. Thank you, parents, for sharing your amazing kids with us tonight. This is always my favorite part of every board meeting. It rejuvenates all of us. It reminds us why we continue to support the students and staff in this district. And you didn't know it, but we had a special guest with us tonight. I'm going to ask you to please stand, Ms. Shelley Boggs. She's our county school superintendent. Please welcome her. She has a big responsibility for the entire county of Maricopa with a little bit over 50 districts. Is that right? Yes. Yes, okay. So we just appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to be with us tonight so you can see why we believe our staff and students here are so amazing. Would you like to? Please, thank you.
I go to a lot of board meetings, and I have to tell you guys, the energy in this room is so much different from a lot of boardrooms I have been in. And the difference comes from the parents and the families and the teachers all working together. And you guys are the reason there's ever any success. That team building it makes a difference. And I see it and I feel it in this room. And congratulations to you guys for doing this. And all of the leadership, administrators, teachers, parents, you guys are doing a great job here.
She is right. Our tone is incredibly positive and kid-centered and family-focused, and that is special and what makes Levine special. With that, we are going to move on to the business portion of our meeting. You are welcome to stay. It's not nearly as exciting as what you just witnessed, but if you want to stay, you can. We'll take a break if you would like to exit. Thank you, guys. Okay, we will reconvene. Robert, I told you come take this spot. No. Okay. Just kick it off. Okay, would you please present to us our 5-year capital plan, Mr. Jacobson?
Thank you, Ms. Berrigan.
Yeah, give him a
President Berrigan, governing board members, Dr. Sprout, and colleagues. I'm actually co-presenting with Mr. Martin today, so I just want to make sure, he's doing the second half of the presentation. So I have the privilege and honor to talk about our capital investing in our district. One thing I do appreciate as the Director of Operations is we do invest back into our schools. And that's key for us to, one, to maintain good quality schools, but two, also too, we pride ourselves on making sure we have good quality schools for our students that we serve. So our goal is to maintain and improve all of our infrastructure, stuff that literally most of folks don't even see. I mean, who has walked a roof lately, okay? It's getting hot, so we try to walk before it gets really hot, but try to improve those, the infrastructure and the buildings so that way we do have quality schools for our kids to go to. And we also consider our life expectancies. In the next slides, I'm going to be showing you what to expect about, how long did things last. So, and we'll talk about that more in depth. And then our preventive maintenance program to try to extend the life. As most people know, and the superintendent of the county actually talked about, is some districts are not in great shape when it comes to their infrastructures and what they do. One thing about Levine is one thing, I've been here 11 years now, and we pride ourselves on making sure we have good quality schools for our students to go to. This is kind of what we look at. This is actually a national average of what infrastructure should look like. The top two are actually the most expensive product that we have at our school system. A roofing right now is going about $3 million to replace a roof, and that's pretty. When I broke into the business, it was about $850,000, and that's been about 20 years ago. So that being said, is most people don't think about roofing and HVAC until something happens, and then start thinking about roofing and AC. So we're looking through those and making sure that's in our 5-year plan, so that way, when I talk with the business department and especially Mr. Martin, we actually look at projecting stuff out so we can actually budget for the high expensive stuff. For order us to build a plan, we have to know what the age of our schools are. 11 years ago when I started here, the administration came to me and said, what do you think about our schools? And I thought they were great because in all reality is we are an old district, but we're not really an old district. Our oldest school is 1998. When I go to conferences and teach to other maintenance directors, I get booed out of the room because most districts don't have what we have here. So we need to know where that's at. In my tenure here, we've actually done a lot of work at Vista and Cheatham, which are our two oldest schools. But we're starting to get into that life cycle now where Trailside, Desert Meadows, and Levine are going to start heading up into that, where we're starting to do a lot of replacement out there, which we'll show you here in just a little bit. The other thing, too, is we kind of forget, Estrella Foothill seems like we built it yesterday. It's come up on 5 years right now. So on our plan, you don't really see Estrella Foothills on the plan, but in a couple of years, you're going to start seeing that starting to get out there to where we need to plan for those dollars. So the School Facility Oversight Board mandates us to do a preventive maintenance program. I think we do it very well. Our staff actually goes out on Wednesday mornings. We shut down that morning and we actually emphasize preventive maintenance to our staff. One thing that actually does is it actually helps us prolong the life of the system, but also gets eyes on the prize, if you will, and we actually go out and we create those work orders. This year, we actually introduced a new work order system because we were trying to anticipate what the School Facility Board was be looking at, and they're asking us for longevity of, have we been out there? Have we looked at this stuff? Our work order system now will actually track every individual unit for the life of that unit. So as we're building a school 10, we'll actually start putting that into the system to where we can actually track every piece of equipment on that new school. And we're going to retro that back so that way we can prove to them what we are and are not doing. Because they're asking for that information, and our old work order system couldn't provide that. So we were actually moving into that realm. Now, anything under $50,000, they call it construction light, which that is run by Mr. Romero, who actually puts those grants in. So this year we did $178,000 worth of grants. Just on your small, we call it onesie twosies. Our big two components of that are HVACs and water heaters. Those are usually around $10,000 to $12,000 and under. Our big number this year for this particular part of the grant is the Vista lift station. It's the only school that has a lift station. Literally lifts sewer and takes it out to 35th Avenue. So when that school was built, there was no sewer lines around there. So we had to do this type of system. So those are starting to fail, which they failed about 5 years ago, and hopefully we can make it through the end of the school year. So now anything over 50,000 is called construction heavy. Every one of these schools that you see in here are actually in the queue for the state. I was at a conference last week, and the state actually presented. The legislation puts in $200 million a year. Right now to date, they're at $223 million. I'm not a mathematician like Charlie is, but I know that's not quite right, okay? So something's got to give. But we have to be in the queue to make sure that we hold our slot in line. Like I mentioned, a roof's about $3 million. So look at just the roofing that we have in, that's $9 million right there to the district that, to be honest with you, we can afford that, but then nothing else would get done. So we are working hard to make sure that the grants are put in, and we're following up with our liaison. They're telling us, though, the problem is they're out of funding, so they're not really funding anything unless it's emergency. So we'll pick those conversations back up July 1st, and we'll be in that conversation and make sure that we're actually in the queue. So when our turn is to get that done, we'll get that through. The other thing, too, is it says weatherization, so just kind of give you, we can't say painting because that's beautification. We have to say weatherization. So. And the current things we're actually working on right now with our capital that's coming up this summer is a fire alarm replacement at Trailside Point. Hardware, that eventually goes bad. Millwork replacement. So we start evaluating every summer. We start in September really devising our plan with the maintenance department. And we put our maintenance, our plan in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Sometimes we can move it up, as it starts coming to life. But these are all in tier 1s, which means they're in disrepair that we need to address. And then we got Rogers Ranch putting flooring, and they also have a hardware replacement. When that school was built, the contractor put just good as what we do, and we don't do just good as in this district. We do as. So, and then we always look at our concrete because we are in the earth that moves, so concrete becomes trip hazards. So we make sure we take care of that so we don't have any liability on that. So, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Jacobson. President Berrigan, members of the board, and Dr. Sprout. It's an overstatement to say that we're co-presenting. I think it's more of a lead man and a cameo, but I do have a little bit of information to share with everyone. So the majority of our 5-year capital plan is about investing in buildings and renewing our buildings. But there are other items, transportation, technology, and curriculum that we plan for investing in on an ongoing basis. When it comes to transportation, we replace buses on roughly a 10-year cycle. So that means buying about 4 to 5 buses each year. And we've been fortunate to get some federal grants lately, and so we've been able to buy electric buses with the additional cost of those buses offset by the federal grants. And we'll continue down that path as long as the grant funding is available. On the technology and curriculum side, some things that are on our radar for the next 5 years are continuing to maintain one-to-one devices and replace Chromebooks as they need to be updated. We're also looking at putting dark fiber for internet connection to school number 10 over the next few years. And on the curriculum side, we recently bought a new math curriculum, and next up are to renew our Discovery Science curriculum, and then looking a little bit further down the road, our next English Language Arts curriculum. So those are all expenditures that are part of our plan for ongoing capital funds. The focus of this presentation was really on our 5-year capital plan and ongoing capital expenditures, but I did want to just quickly highlight the major capital projects that we have that are being funded by bond dollars or one-time capital reserves that have been accumulated. One big one at Vista Del Sur Accelerated Academy. Half of the classrooms were renovated last summer, and the other half will be renovated this summer. And we're continuing to design the expansion there to have 4 classrooms at each grade level. The biggest project we'll have over the next 5 years is school number 10, and that's on track to be built next school year. So that'll be the most significant project we have. By the end of this summer, all of our schools will have secure fencing, and if you've driven by Trailside Point recently, you'll see that installed around the perimeter of that school. I believe we're have a portion up at Desert Meadows, and we'll very quickly work through the other schools before next school year starts. The schools that don't have solar-covered parking will have that by fall break, I believe. And we'll also be breaking ground on our expansion here at the Levine Education Center with the new transportation building starting construction during next school year. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, and I'm sure that Mr. Jacobson is as well.
Well, thank you for that information. This is a very important component to what we need to do and be aware of and be paying attention to in school districts. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to our voters for approving the funds that allow us to do these things. Not every community has that. As Mr. Jacobson mentioned, unfortunately, they're stuck in situations where their buildings are much older, beyond their useful life, and in disrepair. And we have amazing facilities here in Levine. It's hard to believe that Desert Meadows is that old, because I remember when it wasn't there. That's how long I've been in Levine. So I don't have any questions. Other board members, comments or questions?
And the same, what we're able to do with the thank you to the community, and also great job to everyone here at the district who has gained that trust of the community and has been able to uphold it by this positive and by all the things that our administrators and teachers do to create a community so that our residents do value our schools so much and see that we're doing good things and they can trust us with that money. And so I really appreciate everything that you guys are all doing. And it is crazy. I taught at Trailside the first year it opened, and I'm like, well, that's making me feel old when you're talking about it's hitting that 20-year mark. So thanks for that reminder.
Okay, anything else? All right, thank you, Mr. Jacobson. Thank you, Mr. Martin. Okay, we have a presentation on the potential school name change of Cheatham Elementary.
Thank you. President Berrigan, members of the board, Dr. Sprout, and guests. Thank you for the opportunity this evening to talk to you about our proposal for the 25-26 school year for our signature program and a proposal of a name change at Cheatham Elementary School. We are striving to have a signature program at each of our schools. No matter which school our parents choose, we want our parents to know that we have a commitment that all of our signature programs are for all of our students, that they're preparing students for high school and beyond, that we're looking at soft skills and skills that are going to prepare our students for jobs of the future, that they have a community choice, meaning that while we have district boundaries, we do not have school boundaries. So when you move into the Levine Elementary School, you can choose any one of our 9, soon to be 10 schools and make that decision that's best for your child and the type of education you want them to have. And there's also a program of study. Why Cheatham? Cheatham is at the highest point it's ever been. We have the last 2 years of the highest academic growth coming from Cheatham Elementary School. We have great students, we have great staff, and we have great leadership. What's the next step and what's going to make that school push forward is really creating a unique identity with a signature program that they don't currently have. So the program that we've been looking at is a leadership academy and really partnering with the Franklin Covey Leader in Me. Any one of us in the room who's had any kind of leadership training, I'm sure Franklin Covey has come to point. He has a research-based program taking those same pieces of effective, highly effective people all the way down to an age-appropriate kindergarten through 8th grade, and creating those opportunities for kids to be exposed at an early age to become leaders. In addition to that, leadership is a skill for all jobs. We are looking for leaders, the idea that we lead ourselves and then we can lead others, and bringing that to the forefront. Also, the Leader in Me program has a Leader in Me Lighthouse School of Distinction, which will be an opportunity for us to distinguish our leadership academy from others as well. And so we're excited about that opportunity to grow that program into that piece. So a little bit about Leader in Me. There's 5 core pieces to it. A lot of this might sound familiar, as there really isn't that much difference between the adult version and the students, except that they make it age appropriate. So that idea that everyone can be a leader, that every student has unique strengths, and that we can build off of that. That change starts with me, that when we have a challenge, it's about reframing that into an opportunity. and that we are really empowering our students to lead their learning. And so there's a lot of goal setting in this program for kids to create goals for themselves, and that they're student-led in accomplishing those goals alongside with the adults in their lives, including their teachers. And the idea that we're developing the whole person. So we absolutely want all of our students to have high student achievement, but we also want our students to have skills that are going to help them in their future. So with that, Leader in Me has a 3-prong approach to their instructional strategy. The first piece is direct instruction. So there's a 15-minute lesson, K-8, that really hones in on those 7 habits that we'll talk about next. It's also an opportunity for students to create goals for themselves. The next part is that integrated approach, which really becomes a part of the culture of the school. So as kids learn about leadership, and there's a difficulty on the playground, going back and thinking about how can we use those strategies, leadership opportunities for them. As mentioned earlier tonight, Cheatham has a great garden. So what does that look like? And that integrated approach to the things they already have happening there, and how does leadership look like? And then service learning. In the younger grades, they are really teaching that they need to learn how to lead themselves. But as they get older, how can they lead service pieces within their classroom, within their school, and within their community? So the 7 habits of highly effective people, and once again, if you're familiar with any of the Franklin Covey pieces, you're gonna hear some of these things again. But those 15-minute lessons will be focusing on teaching kids to be proactive, beginning with the end in mind, putting first things first, that think win-win, seeking first to understand and then to be understood, synergizing and sharpening the saw. And that one isn't as self-explanatory, but that's really talking about taking care of that balance in your life and growing from one another. So something that we have been doing here in the Levine School District is we've been altering the names of our schools to match our signature program. That also allows our parents to clearly know what choices they have when they're deciding which school they want their students to go to, and it also allows us to market outside of our school district as well. You'll notice here in the picture that we still have our Cheatham, so we are still looking at keeping our mascot and our school colors along the way, and part of that came through feedback when we've been out, and I'll talk about this later in the presentation, that our staff and students still want to wear their shirts, and we want our students and parents to know that they've spent that money on their school apparel, and they'll still be welcome to wear that at the Levine Leadership Academy at Cheatham Farms as well. So some of the work that's happened behind the scenes, I want to give a shout out to Christy Pashley. She has such a passion for her work that she doesn't want to leave Cheatham unfinished. And that last piece to that puzzle is that signature program. And so she's really taken the lead in creating an opportunity. We've had 14 Cheatham staff members, 2 were Leader in Me Lighthouse schools. She's currently working on a Leader in Me book study with the staff as they've gotten excited about the opportunity. Ms. Pashley is working with Ms. Schaefer, our incoming principal at Cheatham, making sure that they're both on the same page. Ms. Schaefer's also excited about this, and she's been included in all of the training and the material pieces as well. Dr. Sprout has gone and met with the Cheatham staff and offered opportunities for feedback and support. We've sent a letter with a survey out to our Cheatham families regarding the signature program and the proposed name change. And something that's still up and coming on May 1st, Cheatham has their family night. It's one of their largest events that is attended by our community. And so we wanted to make sure that we highlighted the signature program and the proposal of the name change on that night as well. So parents have an opportunity to give their feedback and learn more about the proposals. As already mentioned, as we've been out giving feedback, one of the big things is, can I still wear my shirts? And so definitely yes, Cheatham apparel is still welcomed at the Leadership Academy. The next piece in our survey data, parents are coming back supporting the idea of the signature program and the name change. However, a few of them have mentioned that the name that we have selected is a little long. And so just so you know, they're not saying no to the name change, but just the name that we chose is a little long. So next steps, as already mentioned, we will be engaging with our families at Cheatham on May 1st at their family night. If we continue to get positive support and feedback on the signature program and the proposed name change, we will be potentially putting that on the board agenda for May. I'm asking for your guys' support in changing the name of Cheatham to potentially Levine Leadership Academy at Cheatham Farms. That name was intentional. We want to distinguish the Leadership Academy to Levine's Leadership Leadership Academy, but we also want to honor the roots of the Cheatham family and the history behind all the great work that's happened before us, and including at Cheatham Farms into the title of the school. So with that, I stand for any questions that you might have.
Okay, I don't have any questions, but before we move on, I would just like to say this has been a very thoughtful process, I think, that you've engaged in, and you know, the intentionality behind the name change and maintaining the piece about Cheatham Farms, I believe, is also important, but distinguishing it as a Levine school with that name at the beginning, and then distinguishing it with its intention behind the school with Leader in Me. So I appreciate the thought process behind all of this.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the rest of the board?
You answered my question. I was going to say it's probably intentional to have the Levine there so people know that this is a Levine program, but I do think it's really long.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
even my kids going to Vista Del Sur Accelerated Academy. I never say that, and I never write it. I just say Vista.
Yeah.
Is it me? Am I the only one that Academy? It is a taboo word. It almost feels charter school-y to me. So anytime that a school has that, I leave it off on purpose. I don't know. Is that a terrible thing for me to say right now? But I like it. I'm excited for the Leader Academy. I know that is super important. And I'll be interested to hear what the parents say feedback-wise for the name.
Absolutely. Any other questions?
Well, I would say I appreciate having a program like this that's, you know, an established program that makes it so it can be cohesive and structured. I know you've talked to me about that before with other programs, and making sure that if we have one leadership changes, that program is there, it's consistent. And so I appreciate that. I was also, the name threw me a little bit because the rest of our schools, we've left the school name first. Paseo Point Dual Language Academy, still long, but you know, Paseo's first. And so I think that's a little different to like break the pattern of all the names in the school district have, and I don't know if I'll be confusing with having Levine Elementary and Levine Leadership something. Sorry, it's not in front of me
So when you drive into Cheatham, it's Cheatham Farms. That neighborhood, the builders in that area, they've chosen Cheatham Farms, and so taking that as the connection there. But certainly, there's still feedback coming in. So
it'll be interesting to hear about that feedback. And then, like, would we just still refer to it as Cheatham like we do now, or would it be the Leadership Academy? But it's a bigger change than we've had at some of the other schools, so that's what kind of threw me a little bit.
I sense Dr. Sprout wanting to, no?
Well, I think, going back to what you said, Ms. Bell, that I think people will, we don't want to drop Cheatham from the name. Will people begin referring to it more as Levine Leadership Academy at times, or, you know, but everything that we logo, everything that we put out will have the full title, but like Vista Del Sur Accelerated Academy or Paseo Point Dual Language Academy, I think we'll naturally find ourselves saying, you know, I say Paseo Point or Vista. I even say Cheatham. I don't say Cheatham Elementary School, you know, and so, but we definitely didn't want to lose the Cheatham aspect of that, and we'll have feedback for you on that, on your question. I think part of it is on a marketing side of things that we we identify it as a Levine school, and when people are doing searches and whether it's on the internet or anywhere else, that they see Levine first and they know that it is part of the Levine community. And the only other thing is, I can tell you every time I fill out my to-do list, the thing I put up at the top is Own Levine. We want to be the school district for this community, and we aspire to be a place that every child will, you know, a parent wants to put their child, and every, you know, and give everyone the options, and so part of it also is just sending a signal to the community that this is your school, and
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We have no call to the public items, so moving on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Dr. Sprout?
The Bowden family has been waiting for this moment. We've got Mark Bowden. Tonight, you just approved Mark to be our 25-26 principal, or assistant principal. And congratulations.
Heart attack.
Sorry, Melissa. I'll get this straight. He is going to be our assistant principal at Levine Elementary School next year. Mark has made a tremendous journey through this district as a teacher, instructional coach, dean of students. Every time he has been moved from one place to another, we have broken hearts, and but excitement because they know the quality of individual that Mark is. And so, so Mark, and to your family, congratulations, and let's give him a round of applause. And welcome to the admin family. So we're so glad you're with us.
I spend a lot of time with these people.
Yeah.
I hear good things. I've heard your name floating around the district, even though I'm not at your school. So.
Congratulations, Mark. Would you introduce your family to us, please?
I have my daughter Josie, 7.
Hi, Josie.
Spencer here, he's 3.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, take them to dinner or something tonight for ice cream, whatever. Okay, moving on to board action items. We have the terms and conditions for accepting money from the School Facilities Board for school number 10. I would like to motion to accept some money.
Second.
Okay, motion and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Okay, the qualified select bidders list for Levine Education Center. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Motion and seconded. All those in favor, excuse me, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Then the contract with Chase Building Team for Vista Del Sur Accelerated Academy Improvements. Got all the words in? Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And then we have a revised district calendar for next school year. I know we talked about it. Remind me what it is.
Yeah, thank you, President Berrigan. This change is to add 30 minutes to the early release on the side of expanding our PLC time by 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
And when will that go out to the families?
We will either be notifying tonight or on tomorrow or on Monday. We're just in the final stages of our communication. So, yep.
Very good. Not every district has the opportunity to be able to have that kind of professional development time.
Well,
ongoing.
and our school administrators and instructional teams have really taken advantage. This is it's going to continue to improve the instruction in our district. Yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this. But it was a conversation that we really needed to have as we wrapped up this first year of doing early release Wednesdays, and it's been a tremendous success. We're already excited about next year. We've sent all of our principals to PLC conferences. A lot of good things are happening in that area of developing our staff.
Yeah, it will pay off, no doubt. Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Motion and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the board, Mrs. Bell.
I have a lot of notes here. I'm going to have to decide what I say or not say. Well, thank you so much for everybody, especially our experts here, for sharing what you did about the new school program at Cheatham, and also for the, I got to look it up, 5-year capital plan.
Mm-hmm.
I am so glad that there are experts in their fields that we can look to and trust, and you're all really important pieces of the puzzle that make this district, like Miss Boggs said, I have to write down names to remember, that make our district so great and so trustworthy and such a great place to raise families and have our kids there. I just love coming to board meetings, and it's really fun to sit up here because I get to see everybody's faces smiling. It's so cool. Jalem, who won that award, what was it, the I Can Do It award, he went to school with my son. They're friends. They played baseball together. It's so fun. Paseo Point coming up here. I coached 2 of those boys in basketball. One of them was Linda's son. And I would love Levine to invite me if you ever make sushi again and teach me. Anyway, Cheatham has been amazing. I have some people over there now that anytime they harvest their gardens, they call me over and I say, you want some lettuce? I'm like, yeah, I'll be right there. But it's such a great community. So many amazing things happening. Good luck finishing up this last school year, especially the testing. I hear it from my kids going every day and the awesome things that their teachers are doing. And so thank you to have them be prepared and to feel confident in their abilities. They have parents, they have us writing notes and sending cards in. They have the older kids writing notes to the younger kids writing notes to the big kids. It's just really all heartwarming and such a great community. So thank you for all that you do to keep these kids motivated and happy. And because I know April is, I remember as a teacher, but as a parent, as a student, it's a long month, right? And so you're almost there, you're doing great, good job. And so anyways, thanks you guys for all you do, and thanks for the cheerleading too, and for remembering. I texted him today, like, don't forget the winter sports.
You got it. Not competitive at all.
What's that?
You're not competitive at all.
I know, well, I didn't see it last month, so I had to get it this month. Anyways.
Thank you. Mrs. Getzky.
To know everything Michelle said. Very much. Signature programs is my absolute favorite thing about the Levine Elementary District. I brag about it everywhere I go to people that live out of state that talk about, me being on the board or family that lives in other parts of the state. It's just a place for every child is super important to me, and there's just nowhere better than this school district. What a treat to have Shelley Boggs join us today. That was really cool to have her come in and support our community, because they probably don't see how great our little community is because they're out fighting fires, and we don't have fires here, so they don't usually come in and see us, but it is nice to have them join us today. And yeah, good luck with testing. I know that's been rough for everybody and my child, but we're getting through those what feel like long days for them. And I can't believe that we only have one more meeting for summer. I'm a little stressed about that. So as a parent, you guys are probably not stressed. You're probably excited for that. Summer comes real fast. But thank you for all you do. I appreciate everything. I know we all appreciate everything that you guys do, but it's been a great month.
Thank you. Ms. Abed.
I'm just echoing the compliments and the gratitude. I know I was at a community event recently, and of course school things came up, and there were some parents that were saying, we just really have this little pocket of great education in Levine amidst everything else. And of course high school comes up, and it gets tricky to decide on high school, so I appreciate continuing the LEAP event. I know Mikkel and I both have chosen our high school based on what we learned at a LEAP event. And for our oldest, or our kids, anyway. So I just really appreciate that we have this really great pocket. We are looking outward to what our community needs for high school. And like I said, what we are building in the schools ripples out, and we get the support back. And it only takes a couple of minutes of with Ms. Boggs here that she can see that and see that we have this really special pocket going on here. And I also love the signature programs. I appreciate that that as a district we're able to support all these unique things going on and come up with new ideas to meet all the needs of our families. So thanks everyone for all you're doing for that.
Thank you. And then I'll just share, Mrs. Boggs and I had a little side conversation, and I don't think she would mind if I shared what she said. And she said that we are doing good work here. And she sees a lot of school districts, and there's many interesting things going on across the state, and she was really proud, I think, to be able to be here and celebrate all of that with us tonight. The four of us have very little to do with that. That is all of you guys and your staff, and led by Dr. Sprout. But we have our positive comments here at the end of the evening because we need you to know that that is what we appreciate, that you make us a shining light, not just in the Southwest Valley, not just in the Valley, but across the state. And that's why all of our words are always very positive at the end of this. We need you to keep doing that for us. So thank you. Yes, please.
Thank you for the comments, Governing Board, but we do have something very special here, as you said, Ms. Abeg. But it starts with the Governing Board.
You've been here a long time.
When someone comes in to watch, to see us for the first time, they're not looking out there, they're looking up here to see the quality of leadership that our board provides. And you are the best governing board in the state of Arizona. Not just my bosses, but you are the best governing board in the state of Arizona. Then you couple that with the best administrative team in the state of Arizona, and you have an incredible special place. And we are not perfect. We have areas to continue to grow in, and we are going to keep getting better and better. But the leadership of the board, combined with the excellence in our team, is going to make this district continue to grow and be even better. We have not peaked yet. We're going to keep getting better. But that starts with you all. So once again, thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, Dr. Sprout. Okay, we're going to do it again. May 8th, we'll be rounding third base at that time, or coming home, something like that. Yeah, thank you again, guys, for everything you do. Have a great evening, and we need to adjourn the meeting. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you, guys.